Everybody knows who I am and what I was. I started in this business when I was 19 years old, really heavy. I knew every man, every boss, and I worked for the men who were controlled by these men, the culinary workers and the Teamsters. Jimmy Hoffa was one of my best customers.
Jimmy Hoffa was one of your best customers.
Every time he had a headache, I was the aspirin. It was simple as that. We got along. I became very friendly with Jimmy. I'm the last man that he came to see when he was trying to get the union back by a claim. When he came into South Jersey, called a friend of his in the Teamsters, said, would you call that little guy, tell him I want to see him. I'm at the rickshaw. I'd like to talk to him. I knew what it was. So I said, okay, he called me. And I went. I went there. I brought two friends with me. I made them sit outside because I didn't trust nobody in those days. And I was good friends with Jimmy. So they sat in the lobby. Ronnie Turchi and Mike Marone, they're both gone. They're under the dirt. And I went in to see him. I saw him talking with John Greeley. He was the Teamster. Went over, we hugged. We always hugged. Because we became friends, besides me doing and taking away his headaches once in a while. When somebody wanted to pull their Teamster local out of his international, and he was and were making speeches and whatever, he called for me. He sent word to the guys, or whoever they were.
What do you mean by you were the aspirin to his headaches? What did you do? What did you do?
Well, let me explain
Please.
it. I went to see the certain gentlemen who were. And I talked to him. He said, no, we're pulling out this and that. I said, do you know what you're doing to yourself? You're doing to Jimmy and the rest of the team? Yes, I do. And you say, no, you're still going to try to pull out? You're going to make a mistake. And that's all I said. I'll see you. And within months, nobody could find that guy. He just disappeared. Then they found him somewhere, laying down with 2 or 3 holes in his head. And that local stood in the International. That's how he built the International. And they loved him because he treated them well. But some men, their ego explodes their sense of propriety. And that's how we became friends. And he never called no one else when he had a headache. That's why he came to see me in the rickshaw. Wanted to sit down. I said, no, let's stand up and talk in a corner. It was by the bar. It was after lunch, it was quiet. He said, Ralph, I'm going to take over the local again, the union, the International, by a claim. He was strong. Jimmy was a strong guy. I said, Jimmy, why are you doing this? You got all the money in the world. I know you have it. You got a great pension. You got a great family. Josie was sleeping upstairs, his wife. But what's wrong with you? He said, Ralph, it's the only thing I know how to do. I said to myself, he wasn't a womanizer, like most men are.
He wasn't?
No, definitely not. He wasn't a drunk, and he wasn't a gambler. Here's the things that men do when they have money and time. He didn't do any of these, and I'm telling because I know. I said, just go back and enjoy your life, Jimmy. You did everything you had to do. I love you. Everybody loves you. Ralph, I'm going to ask you to do something. Please. I know the state of Jersey and all the Teamsters. They love you and they fear you. Please get them to, when I go into the convention, to back me. I said, Jim, I'm going to give you one answer. First of all, a man can't serve 2 kings. You know where I was, what I was almost born into. He says, yes, I do. I said, well, I'm going to have to go and see him. And if that man washes his hands of you, I'll help you. Because I didn't like the punks that were pulling out for him. They promised him this, they promised him that, they gave him nothing. But they gave him freedom. And he had his pension. He had everything. I said, okay, I'll give you a call and I'll let you know. Please, Ralph, I'm going to find out shortly. Shook his hand. I've seen my 2 friends. Okay, everything's okay. I went to see Angelo Bruno at his home in South Philadelphia, where he was killed right in front of there, but that's another story. Went in, his wife answered her sewer, knocked him quietly. Oh, Ralph, what are you doing here? I said, when the king calls, his people have to come see him. Hey, Ralph, come on in. He said, I know what you got. I know that other guy came into the city. Look at him, like the FBI was. And what do you want now? I said, he asked me to help him to be Teamster boss again. He said, Ralph, that ain't going to happen. Everything's been done. Agreements paid. Everything's done. Tell him to go home and enjoy his life. I said, I told him that already, but he wants me to come and help him. No. Don't go near him. Don't go by him. After you told him already, well, he don't have to be told again. Send a word with someone else. You stay away from him. I said, but just stay away from him. I'm telling you. What's wrong, Ange? This guy did everything for you, for everybody. Because that's how I was with Ange. Because I was Ange's last moment of everything. He said, the man upstate Jersey, you know who I mean, the man that you went one day and you see he was up on the roof with the pigeons, flying pigeons. You want me to go see him? No, they're going to do it. And they'll take care of this business. My God. I said, is that your last? He said, that's my last time. Okay, good. I'll see you later. I love you. I kiss him on the cheek. And boom, I left. I knew he was going to be dead within, or missing, I didn't know what they were, in 2 or 3 weeks. And he was.
In 2 or 3 weeks?
Yeah. Because he called this guy, that guy. He made an agreement with some men that he used to deal with in a mafia family from New York. And when he made this agreement, it was supposed to be binding on either one. They said, we'll send somebody to see and talk to you. And, they send somebody. They send 3 people, the Andretti brothers and Budrillo, his last name, I'm pronouncing his name. The 3 of them went to see him, and he was never saw again. Never. No fine, no nothing. And that was the end of Jimmy Hoffa, because he didn't want to live nice with his family. He wanted to go out and still have that. Here I am. In Philadelphia, Eric Shawn, I think is the broadcaster at Fox News, asked to see me. I went up to see him. I said, what's up? He said, talking about everything. He said, a friend of yours, who's the friend? He said, Frank Sheeran. Frank Sheeran, yes, what did he want from you? He told me he shot and killed Jimmy Hoffa. What? In fact, I saw it filmed. I said, not in a million years is he allowed to get near him. No, but he told me, unbelievable. I told the FBI they're going to get together. I'm going to investigate it. You do it because you've always been nice with people. You do what you got to do. He's a liar. He wants to beat somebody before he dies because he's sick. I think he's got cancer.
You're saying that?
Yeah. He said, well, okay, good. Lo and behold, he investigated where they found the blood on the floor. Then when the FBI sent the forensic people in, they tested it. It wasn't Jimmy Hoffa's blood. He said he shot him twice. And then when I went up to see him, I went up to see Eric again. I said, what did I tell you? He wouldn't talk to him. What's wrong with you? He said, my mind is, he's a liar. And I said, well, I told you that, but you wanted to be, you did. He said, I'm sorry, I should have listened to you. That's a Jimmy Hoffa story. And they'll never find him, unless it's somebody, one of those 3. Now, Tommy Bergiulio, the shooter, as soon as he got in the car, he shot him. And the 2 Andretti brothers. But Bergiulio's not around because he got killed a couple of months after that. Because he was walking around in New York City. I killed the top guy. I should be getting the top. I should be made a captain. I should be this and that. He was a made man with the union. Because I heard he was doing that. He's putting a spotlight on him. He was killed within that week. After I heard that, he came out of a restaurant in the Little Italy section. Boom, boom, boom. He was done. No more talking. The Andretti brothers, one stood in New York, and one had time to go. They were doing little odds and ends. They were doing things and making money illegally, but not too much. They skirted. When I got into Lewisburg, a year later, so I don't mark down dates, Who's there? Tommy Andretti. He's in, what the hell was in the block? I think it was A, B, C, D block. I said, he said, Tommy, hey, come over, he hugged me, this, that. Because he knew what I was, and he knew what I would do. Everybody knew. I said, good, I never, how's everything? He said, no, things were getting too hot around there. They picked me up on some, they gave me 10 years and this and that. And I looked at him, I said, my God, look at this. Look what happened to Jimmy. And he was part of it. And when I went to, and Eric, I talked to him after that. He said, I'm so glad you told me that. I was making a fool of myself. Well, I didn't want you to make, I just told you. He did not do it. He's a liar. So that's that story with Jimmy Hoffa.